Hey guys, it's me again, Orchler. This where we last left off. Let's see. Checking. Let's see. Deku and them perform somewhat of a prison break. Well, escape from Rapture, more or less. They assisted Dr. Ten, is what I'm referring to her as. Dr. Ten in helping a little group, a large group actually. She'd been saving those little ones up for months. And had been able to escort them and keep them safe properly to what you would essentially call a escape, like a submarine or whatever. The little sisters were put in and then took off, with Deku and them having to fend off an entire little barrage of big sisters, eventually being forced back. It was a difficult battle for some of them, as Deku and them haven't had contact with Dr. Ten in like over a week. As they're thinking about this, they're like, what else can we do? Everywhere we go, it's same thing. Lamb's trying to murder us. Lamb's trying to kill us. Lamb's trying to grab Aryan Mina. This is getting ridiculously stupid. Oh. Anyways. Guys, it's time for us to move out. We got enough Adam for you guys to last without having to harvest it from any of the corpses that lie around. So we should be good. Let's just try to keep to the shadows, or keep to like the buildings, and try and get deeper into Rapture. There's some stuff or, well, we could stick to the outskirts, present us with opportunities, like get out of Dodge, is what Kirishima says. It's like, he has a point, Deku, is what Mina says. It's like, Deku says, I understand that, but Aries like, I know you don't like Lamb for what she's done to all of us, but still, you gotta make sure to keep that in control. Otherwise, it ain't gonna do us any good if you fly into a rage, alright? He's like, fine. We'll try to stick to the outskirts like last time. But I'm telling you, there's something deeper inward that she's not wanting us to find out. If we find it, we may be able to destroy her. Maybe it's escape pods for maybe it's more Adam. Maybe she's waiting for us to get desperate enough or to starve you guys out. Me and Kirishima haven't had to eat anything in years of being down here. For some reason, we've had to leave that alone. The only things we really do need is, I guess, rest. That's it. Nothing else. Anyways, that's just what I think. But the majority overrules the few. So I'll follow what you guys do this time, alright? But we better just be ready to head in if things get turn out for the worse. And hopefully it isn't on her terms either. Because if we go into a place deeper in where she's forcing us into, that's a bad way to go. She forced us out to the outskirts of that place last time. And with that, we have almost gotten killed several times, and I was almost killed by a few big sisters when I got separated from you guys. She cordoned me off with three big sisters at once. I was able to destroy them all, but still took a bit of damage, Thankfully, we know how to repair our suits. And if we didn't know how to repair our suits, we just simply put duct tape or something on it. Anyways, let's get moving forward. Sorry. Steku's so. As they go a few days of traveling, as it's just constantly moving, keeping on waiting. As in there's just ring. As they approach it, it's like, hello? It's like, excuse me. As it's in a Mr. Midoriya, it is me, Dr. Tenebrum. Ten. I've been able to reactivate. Well, I haven't been able to reactivate Delta, but she's like, I think I found more big brothers, like you. It's like, explain. I saw a few big brothers following along your path. They seem to be following you almost. He looks ancient. Not ancient, but a few, like, they look unique in a way. They look similar to you, but your weapons are different. Drills are quite smaller than your own. It's like, you think they're like us? She's like, yes, but there is no way to know for sure. Unless you wish to risk an encounter. It's like, guys, apparently some big brothers may be following after us. You think it's worth us waiting here? And so, like, sure, it could be worth it. Like, you never know. It's like, very well. We'll wait here to intercept them and plan to see. It's like, very well. I lost where they were a little bit ago, but you know how you know. He's like, I know. Anyways, as they like hide out like around that area, as within of several hours, it's just like within several hours, or well, maybe 6-7 hours, they finally like start arriving. There's the big brother that's hunched over with a harpoon gun. Another one that has lightning, like a giant cage on his back. As well as one that's similar to Deku, but less bulky looking. Yeah, he's very skinny compared to Deku. And for the fourth one, he has very dark armor. He has a very, almost like dark gray like suit with bright red eyes, with his like helmet being bright red eyes. As they're waiting, as in they hear, I thought you said they went this way. It's like, that's what I thought, don't blame me. It's like, let's just keep looking. They've been successfully evading Lamb. Sorry? If they're able to evade her for so long and somehow help little sisters escape, well, we want to help them as well, don't we? It's like, yeah, I guess we do, but what about that big boss? What about the first? He's like, he lost all hope a long time ago. But we still have a chance to get these little sisters out of here. Spare them alive to become Lamb's puppets. As it's like, fine. The hunch one says, they should be here. We've been tracking them and they haven't moved since. As they like start looking around for signs, Deku then slowly but surely is getting ready as he goes, like drops down. And nobody hears him like drop, as then it's a smash. As he got up high someplace, he smashes as they're like, what? As they turn around, they see Deku rushing forward as he uses ice burst to like freeze their feet. As then he like grabs one, picks him up, slams him to the ground, and puts a boot on his neck, saying, explain yourself. As then Kirishima comes down, dual wielding his blades and his drill as he gets it on two of the other's necks. As an Eri and Mina come down looking quite angry, with a gun and acid and rewind at the ready. It's like, oh, as the one with the cage on his back is like, whoa, 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 easy up there, part, easy up there. We heard you were helping little sisters escape. We want to help too. As it's like, as they're looking at him, it's like, listen, Lamb sent us here with our actual sisters before. It's like, Some of us, they didn't make it. I want to kill Lamb just as much as the rest of us here. But right now, if you're working on saving the little sisters, that's a cause I'm willing to put myself behind. As each of them eventually, not like each of them just agree, like that is why we came. Like I thought as then Deku gets his boot off the one's neck, as he's like, sorry about that. But I thought we were the only big brothers who hadn't lost their damn minds. As they're like, you weren't originally. In the beginning of the phases, Lamb had to refine her technique. She tried to get somewhere between sentient, like big sisters, or like Delta, where we actually cared about them. But when we actually started to care about them, we started to try and look for ways to get out of Rapture for their sake. Lamb didn't like that. She would send big sisters, and when we would get separated, those ones, the sisters would get hunted down, the little ones get hunted down by splicers, and you know how that goes. Deku says, I haven't had the same problem happen myself, but I have heard through killing splicers who try to kill the little sisters outright, who I've met. What's this one about the first? He's like, oh, you heard about that. You heard that. He's like, explain. He's like, the first is the first big brother. He's the original copy we're all based on. Or the design, at least. But it seems like you two are just like him. Except for, well, you two are less bulky than him. He's about the size of a big daddy. It's like, really? He's like, yeah. Like, at least in, like, size, like, length and such. He's, like, big. Like, strongman big. But you two seem pretty proportionate. He's like, what about the rest of you? Like, the one hunched over says, I came here with someone from an orphanage. As the others say, it's similar, but we came with our, like, I was related by blood to my little sister. It's like, huh. It's like, what should we do? As a Deku, like, brings in the group into huddle. Think we can touch them? As like, as they're like whispering, as the other ones are like, sure this is a good idea, Cage? It's like, yeah, I'm sure, Crawler. As yes, they're going by like things that they do, because in a sense they've sort of lost memory of their name, since they really haven't had anyone to talk to in years, possibly decades. Lamb's been around here for a long time, and she's been using Adam to extend her life, just like Andrew Ryan did. Anyways, as they're all talking, it's ringing again as Deku walks over. It's like, hello, Deku. Did you get into contact with the group? It's like, yeah, Dr. Ted. They're an odd bunch, but who isn't odd here? She's like, that is a good point, Deku. But I've come up with something recent. I need you to gather more little sisters. I may be able to help cure them after getting this set up. As he's like, you found a way to do whatever you need to do? She's like, yes. But I need little sisters brought to me. I need you to bring down big daddies and wandering little sisters and bring them to me. Here. As it's like, we'll try to catch up. And she's like, sorry, but I will not do the thing to Eri and Mina just yet. I need them to stay that way as insurance. Because if they go, you go. You must see my predicament. Like, I understand. And she says, and take notice, take heed. Only I know how to do the operation. and your sisters would not do well to you harming the little ones to get me to do it. It's like, I would never, Dr. Ten. We'll try to meet you there with some little sisters. As Deku says that, as they're like, Dr. Ten? It's like, yeah. She's the one who created them, and now she's trying to clean up her mess, you could say. She says for us to kill big daddies and grab little sisters and take them to her. She can fix them right up. It's like, why she hasn't... She still needs me and Kirishima to fight. By the way, Deku, Kirishima. I'm guessing your Cage, your Crawler, your Shock, your Shocky, or Electro, whichever you prefer, and your Dark, and your Stick. And it's like, yeah, I guess that works for us. And they're like, let's get moving then. As they all move out like in a group, Deku and Kirishima are keeping an eye on all of them, as there's just a bunch of walking. As they find a few big daddies, take care of the little sisters, then take the little sisters, get them at them as they fight off dozens upon dozens of splicers again and again and again. It's local grinding. As they eventually make their way to Dr. Ten's laboratory. As I believe at this point, Ari and Mina are 15 at this point. As she's like, oh, there you are. Well, thank you for bringing me the little ones. And also, good news, I've been able to locate Delta and activate him. He should be here shortly. As she's saying that, and it's been like a week since they last talked to her, Delta walks through the door as it's like douche, 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 douche. As he looks at all of them, as they're all standing there, it's like, as they're looking ready to be defensive, he's like, it's okay, this is Delta. Delta, I need you, as she explains the situation to Delta, as then he goes thumping off, thump, thump, thump. He seems different from Big Daddies. He's like you big brothers, he actually cares for his little sisters. He takes care of Eleanor. Eleanor? Who's that? It is Lamb's daughter. Lamb's? It's yes. He was one of the first Big Daddies, but he lost. Yeah, he lost his Eleanor several years ago, and then has reactivated recently. Eleanor is along the lines of being able to be brought into as a big sister. But problem is, Lamb has had her for several years. Don't know if she's same little Eleanor that I knew. So what do we do? It's you will continue what I ask of you. Bring me more little sisters to save, and you will eventually be free from here. Very well. We'll continue to fight for you. We'll continue to fight and gain more little sisters. Don't be ashamed if we can't find too many. That last batch should have taken care of like a portion of the population of little sisters in this place. She's like, you'd be surprised on how many little sisters are here. Same with big brothers and big sisters, and even big daddies. Lots of them still remain, over hundreds of years. Well, I will speak to you more later. For now, I will contact you when the time comes to extract these little ones with help of the United Nations. The United Nations are dealing with this? Yes. They believe that Rapture needs to go. But they can't destroy it without getting all the innocents out first. Is at least what has been favored for several decades. I've been able to extend my life with Adam, you see. Doing what I can for the little ones. And so we understand. We'll do what we can, as we promised. Now come, let us go. As they all roll out, having a few couple months go by, with Delta taking care of like a week or so of Delta clawing his way through everything that stands in his way when it comes to, getting to Eleanor. As he gets through like 2 areas. Well, yeah, 1.5 areas. As Deku and them are then helping a batch of little sisters escape. As then Crawler says, we should get the first. He will be a great asset to us. It's like, none of us can convince him, and we've tried. As it's like, who? We've already told you about the first. He refuses to take action, thinking we are all doomed, but he hasn't done anything since. We were hoping you could convince him. Me? Why us? This is like, we see how you fight, and you've been saving many little sisters. It's like, we'll go meet him. Where is he? He's this place. As they point out a picture, as they make their way there, it takes them about a week or so of getting there. In that time, Delta has let live the first lady that, like the first choice you can do. He allows her to live, and allows the guy, and allows another few others to live. As he goes through this journey, there's like, we've heard from 10. Delta's kind of merciful. More merciful than I thought so. Anyways, this is where the first is supposed to be. It's like, yeah, be ready. He may try to attack us. It's like, I understand that. As they like approach and make their way out, it's like, hello? As they're looking around, should be here. As then they like take a step down. As in eventually they just see a bunch of things where there's like parts of Big Daddies, parts of Big Sisters, and a few parts of Big Brothers. With like a few things here and there of dolls that little sisters would have. As Deku says, oh, we should back up now. He is most definitely hostile. As in they say that, they like all get pulled using some weird, some atom like based ability. As he's like, what the? As they like go crashing. As it's like, what the heck was that? As they see this figure with whatever color that is, electricity and drills standing there. The drills covered with red rust, signifying that he has drenched them in blood before. And prosthetic leg, and well, not prosthetic leg, but a leg and metal legs and everything. Looks like he's been through hell. As he says in a voice that sounds terrifying to the, not terrifying, but odd to even them, as it keeps on short-circuiting, you could say.
Who are you? Not who are you? What are you doing here? Why bother me? You should ask me to wait. Did Cage or Crawler send you? Or Dark told them to leave me alone? That I was done with being a big brother. Failed too many times, and they failed themselves. I only just realized that we should stop fighting and wait for the rest to sit in.
Then Deku's like, listen, we need your help. We've been getting little sisters out of here by the dozens. But there's a problem. Lamb's taken notice, and she's forcing more and more forces down on us every time we're able to even get a few of them out. We need more help when it comes to you. And you are the one that they recommended we come get. He says
he's done with hoping. Too many died due to hoping. He's not doing another thing. He is done and tired. Just leave her. As he sits
down, as it's like,
listen, as it's like, leave. I'm done. I will fight no longer. I am done.
As he starts having a coughing fit and sits down, it's like, I knew this was a waste of time. Come. There's another batch of little sisters that's supposed to be able to get free. Hopefully Delta can accomplish his mission and kill Lamb. As then he hears that, taking interest, but then decides to sit back down. It's like, that old cog needs, that old rusted piece of metal needs to learn that it doesn't matter what he wants or what he's lost. If there are lives still yet to be saved, you save them. But it seems like we all can't think that way, Kirishima. He's like, he's probably seen a lot more than us and has lived a lot longer than us, Kirishima. Could probably be put. Sorry. You could probably take our ages and put them together, and he's probably still be older than us, depending on how far back this thing goes. We're like, what, technically in our 20s? By all right, we should be adults, probably having girlfriends and such, but we're still stuck down here. Ensuring Eri and Mina don't get turned into big sister mind slaves. Anyways, let's get back there. As a few months go past, Eri and Mina are approaching closely to like when they're about to turn 16. Not stuck, but to be like fully matured, I guess would be the best way to say that. As then they continue to speak with the other ones, as eventually it's like, we're being overwhelmed, is like the final thing of getting like the last of these little sisters out in this entire sector that they've been hanging around. Every other place is either completely deserted, gone, or what. They were finally getting the last batch of these little sisters out of there. But that excludes the one during Delta's storyline. Well, those ones were just sent over to Deku's and theirs way. It's like, we're being pushed back, as they're like in a main entrance, as the little sisters like got on several boats, as it was constantly open, close, as there's like well over like 100 like little sisters and such like ready. They've killed quite a few big brothers and big sisters and big daddies. They're all ready to go. As when it's like, alright, everyone, Eri, Mina, get on the boat. It's like, what? We're not leaving you here. Go now. I'm sorry to say this, but this seems to be our final fight. Go now. We're ready. You don't have to worry about us anymore. But go become heroes like you guys wanted to when you were younger. Alright, Eri, and remember how to control your quirk. As then Deku grabs something that, as he hands her a little teddy bear thing that he had wrapped around his chest and such. It was the same little teddy bear that he gave to Eri to sleep with. Run now. As he takes a stance. Brothers! Victory is at hand. We shall strike them back and keep them back until we are no longer able to stand, even if we're torn from our suits. Fight using your Adam and Eve. Use bullets, teeth, and nails. We are to fight them back until they've gotten all on board. And Delta should be having his final battle with Lamb. That's just like, goodbye, Mina and Eri. May we see you again in the next life. As Deku and them are prepared, as then tons of splicers come pouring in. These ones are more insane than usual. They have guns, they have like magicians, they have essentially little Hulks, they got spiders, they got everything. Fight them back! As they start blasting a wave with their plasmids, like incinerate, gust, ice, shock, everything. They're pulling out all the stops. They got turrets and drones flying around, shooting at the splicers, gunning them down. It's like, Deku, I'm running out of ammo. Keep fighting, Crawler. Pin those spiders to the wall if you have to. As he's like, well, trying. As it's like, we're being overrun. I'm running out of ammo. Deku like fires his last 2 shots from his shot off. I just did. Forward! As he charges forward into the horde using Incinerate as he does a giant blast, sending several of them and comboing it with telekinesis. He gets it and uses it as like a wave of fire. It scorches through the splicers. Moving forward, he then takes his drill and shoves it down one's, like, pretty much like into one's chest, spins it, with Kirishima taking his blades, using his harpoon he has, reeling them in and slicing them to pieces. Shocker's just blasting them away. The one that was the Dark, essentially what he's doing is he's unleashing like those swarms of insects upon them. Feel the stings of my brethren. As he says that, Crawler is like jumping around being like a monkey. They're all just tearing into him. It's like, we're being forced back. As they're just kicking and smashing. As Deku gets shot right in the forehead as his glass like cracks. As he's like, fight. As then Cage is actually surrounded. And he's like, forgive me, brothers. As he holds up what can only be seen as an explosive. As he's like, I take you wretches with me. As then boom, blows up. It's like, Cage! As the others fight with even more vigor until they hear a bunch of crashing. As then they see the picture with the first saying, I am here to help. No more shall you suffer. I shall fight and join the fray. As he launches himself dead in the center, fighting with those like Hulk ones. As he grabs them, picks them up, and like tears them in half. When it comes to the big brothers, he is the best. He is also the most unstable, as he's flown into a rage. Slicing and tearing apart not Big Brother, but splicer after splicer after splicer. As there's a bunch of explosions, it's like, what's that? It seems that Lamb has gotten what's coming to her. And it's like, really? It's like, yeah. It's like, well, it's time. As then explosions just start happening all around Rapture, as the United Nations are just dropping bombs on them. Now it's just like, wipe Rapture off the face of the earth. As it's just like, brothers, we must escape. It's like, how? As they like turn to the edge, as all the splicers are fleeing at this point, seeing Rapture being destroyed. It's like, oh. As they start like drilling into the glass, it's like, focus your drills. As they all focus on one point, as they like break through. As it's like, run. As they like fall to the ground and they all start running on the sea floor. As it's like, run before we're crushed. As Deku says, Kirishima, push forward. It's like, I'm trying to swim upward. As it's like, well, some of us don't have that luxury. As then the first says, I am done. As like he stops like when they land. I have brought down Rapture. I am free. As he waits and as the thing comes crashing down on him, as that pretty much kills him, I find into a character I just introduced. Sorry if it's so short, but I don't want to like stretch this out so long. I'll do a few flashbacks, I would say, to give more character to the first. As in the running, it's like the first is the last to die. Well, it's the first is the second to die. Ironic. Just wish Cage could have been here. Sorry, but may he will live on in our memories. As they're running, it's like, sir, we got several things on sonar. As they like look down, it's like let's see, Crawler, Dark, Skinny or Stick, Deku, Bell. That's 5, I think. Yeah, around 5. It's like, wait a second. As they like have people like, as they have like divers at the ready, as they're like, it's 5 people in underwater pressure suits. It's like, wait. As like several of them look at him, it's like, sir, those are some of the big, like, those are 2 big like new breeds of whatever they are. Like, as then Eri and Mina sees this, it's like, that's our brothers. They say this with excitement. It's like, they helped us escape, remember? As it's like, all right, well, get some like things down there to like float them to the surface. It's like, yes, sir. As they like get some people like in a sealed oxygen place, as they start swimming down to them, as then they hand them like things that are supposed to send them straight up. It's like, as they like show them tying it around their waist and then like pressing a button as it like flies straight to the air, as they're like, oh, all right. As they all get like put in these little vests, as they're just like all the way up until it's just like plunk or poof. As they come out of the water, as it's like, as they're like blinded by the light almost, as they're like, ugh, it's so bright, as they're like blinking rapidly inside the helmets, as then they like claw their way up, as Eleanor and such is on her little raft as well. Deku and them have been doing quite a lot. As then they like go over to one of the boats, as the little sisters are all cheering like on boats and such. Eri and Mina are like happy to see that their brothers have survived. Deku and such are like swam over there trying to use the drill, as he just like puts it in the water, as it's just like a little motorboat. Then he eventually like gets up and it's like, ugh, as they like climb on with the other few big brothers, as several soldiers like had their guns out there. He's like, stand down. As then like the person who led the boarding party the first time, like, it's a pleasure to see you again. As they look down at his hand, pleasure mine. Where's Dr. Tenenbaum? She'll be held trial for her actions against humanity. As like, she can cure us, possibly cure them. It's like, oh, well then we would talk about getting her to cure you guys beforehand. As Deku says, as he grabs onto his helmet, it's like just a as then he throws it off. As his eyes are bright green, as he's like, oh, smell that fresh air, everyone. Beautiful, isn't it? I truly hope, well, we'll continue to live, I guess. Is what he's saying to them, as put to others, like, continue living, I guess. Maybe Heroes Academy. I don't know. Heard about it. As he then asked, how UA? Oh, how's UA? They're doing pretty well, and you're thinking about applying, well, I think you should probably get yourself sorted before, attempting. It's like gives a chuckle. Plan to. As Kirishima has also taken his helmet off, he's like, ugh. As they just like sit at the edge of the boat, as they're like, sleeping. Been awake for days, weeks even. As then Deku just like falls asleep there and here and there is like, oh. As Kirishima follows suit, and all the brothers follow suit and just like lay down on the ground after taking off their helmets and just going. As then Mina and them are like, oh well, I guess we'll leave them to it. As they like put something over their eyes so they don't go sunblind or whatever. Not sunblind, but blind from having their facing upwards towards the very bright sun. In the game, it's like a sunset or sunrise when Eleanor gets out, but for me, all having it's like middle of the day. As we're like, alright. As eventually, well, that's where I'm going to end this one off at. I hope y'all have enjoyed it. I hope y'all continue to enjoy it, and I hope y'all have a nice day, nice night, nice life.